When you look at the main image in the center and you scroll through your other images by clicking down below, you can start getting an idea of where you want the color to go. So when you go over to the right hand side, the first thing that you're going to see and you're going to want to connect with, the first thing you're going to see is going to be the histogram. So in the histogram, it's going to give you your ISO, it's going to give you the lens that you shot with, the f-stop, and the shutter speed. Right now I have these two triangles on the top corners of the histogram selected, and I usually keep those on because what it does is that it shows you shadow clipping warnings and highlight clipping warnings. And what that is this is the shadow clipping warning that I'm going to turn on, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn on the highlight clipping warning. What that does is that it shows you areas of your image that might be squished, that there might be no information because the highlights are too bright, or no information because the shadows are too dark. So if I now zoom in with my zoom tool and I hold down the space bar, I could navigate to another part of my image. You could see here my image is zoomed into 149%, and this is the top left hand corner. You can see if I turn this on and off that it's giving me a clipping warning. In this instance, this clipping warning isn't that important. I'm going to zoom back out because it's a very small portion of your image. If I zoom in to my image, and again I press the space bar so I could navigate, you could see that I have small amounts of clipping warning and a highlight from a reflective surface. If I turn on this on and off, you're going to see that clipping warning. So it's not adding an actual color of red in your image, it's just showing you where you may have issues. If the area is so small, you're not going to worry too much about it because it's not an important part of your image. To zoom out, you can click on Command minus is a shortcut to zoom out, and the Command key and plus is to zoom in. Also for zooming, down on the bottom left hand corner from the drop down menu, you have different ways of zooming. So I'm going to keep this right now for our demo. I'm going to zoom out because I want to have a full frame. And full frame on my image is going to be about 25%. Actually, not even. So I'm going to zoom out some more so you can see the full image. The Command 0 key brings you back to full frame. When you're looking at the histogram, the information that it's giving you is showing you where all the pixels on a grid are laying. So all the way to the left, right around where my cursor is here, is pure black. All the way to the right is pure white. So you can see in my image that my pixel information is leaning a little bit more to the left, meaning that I have pretty inky shadows and pretty inky blacks. My image is not underexposed, but there's more information, even though it looks correct here, that leans over to the darker side. If I go to my next image and I look at my histogram, that histogram is going to look very different. So you can see that the information here is nicely spread out compared to my first image where the information was a little bit more condensed over to the left. If I go to my third image, again, you're going to see that this image is the best exposed image out of the three images that I'm working with, because if this is pure black and all of this information is spread out and this is pure white, you can see that I have a very nice spread in this particular image. If I zoom in, you're going to see again that I have some areas here and some areas maybe in my brightest highlights like in here that you could keep your eye on this red, but again, since those areas are so small, you can see some here, I'm really not going to worry about that. And I'm going to press my Command key and 0 to fit this back to full frame.